Formula One racing is all about speed, risk, and adrenaline. The world's best drivers push both themselves and their cars to the edge, taking on some of the toughest circuits out there. While every track has its own challenges, there are a few that stand out as especially dangerous. And that's what we'll be exploring today. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. Imola Circuit, Italy. The Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari, better known as Imola, serves as a constant reminder of the dangers in Formula One. Named after Enzo Ferrari, the mastermind behind Scuderia Ferrari, this track has seen its fair share of tragedy. Most notably, the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix claimed the lives of Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger, a dark moment in F1 history. Though the track has undergone changes since that fateful race, it remains a real challenge for drivers. At 4.9 kilometers long, Imola's Grand Prix layout is still fast and unforgiving. Drivers love it for its old-school, no-nonsense nature, while fans are drawn to its rich history and excitement. Despite the updated safety features, Imola is not a track to be taken lightly. After a long absence, it made its return to the Formula One calendar in 2020 as the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, and it's now a permanent fixture in the 2023 season. Even with the safety modifications, the drivers know just how demanding and dangerous it still is, adding an extra layer of tension to every lap they race. Baku Street Circuit, Azerbaijan. The Baku Street Circuit, stretching 6 kilometers, is infamous for its lack of runoff areas, making it one of the most dangerous tracks in Formula One. One of the most feared sections is the long straight, where drivers can hit speeds of up to 333 km per hour. But what really adds to the danger is that this high-speed stretch also includes the entrance to the pit lane, creating a risky mix of speed and precision. Prime example of how treacherous this can be happened in 2021. Max Verstappen was leading the race with just 5 laps to go when disaster struck. Out of nowhere, his left rear tyre gave up, causing him to lose control and crash hard into the wall on the right side of the track. It was a brutal hit, but things could have been much worse. If it had been his right rear tyre that failed instead, Verstappen might have crashed head-on into the wall right at the pit lane entrance, a spot where the outcome could have been far more catastrophic. Baku's thrilling speed and dangerous layout make it one of the most challenging circuits of the season, constantly keeping both drivers and fans on edge. Suzuka Circuit, Japan. The Suzuka Circuit is a favourite among drivers, known for its high-speed corners and technical sections that demand both precision and skill. But with that excitement comes serious risk. Suzuka has been the site of several tragic accidents, the most heartbreaking being the crash of Jules Bianchi in 2014. Bianchi lost control in wet conditions and collided with a recovery vehicle, suffering injuries that sadly led to his passing months later. This 5.8-kilometer track is not for the faint of heart. Its tight, blind corners and minimal runoff areas give drivers little room for error, while speeds that can exceed 300 km per hour make every lap a high-stakes challenge. Suzuka's fast and unpredictable layout has earned it a reputation as Japan's most dangerous racetrack, and it's easy to see why. Despite the dangers, Suzuka remains a fan and driver favourite, with its legendary Figure 8 layout testing the limits of man and machine. The challenge of balancing speed and control here is what keeps everyone coming back. But it's also what makes Suzuka a track where even the smallest mistake can have serious consequences. It's as thrilling as it is unforgiving. Monaco Grand Prix Circuit, Monaco. The Monaco circuit is not only one of the most iconic and prestigious in the world, but also one of the most dangerous. Known as the crown jewel of motorsport, it forces drivers to navigate narrow streets and tight corners, leaving almost no room for error. One small mistake and you're crashing into a wall or colliding with another car. Despite its short length, just 3.33 kilometers, Monaco pushes drivers to their limits. Cars can still reach speeds of up to 280 km per hour on the straights, but overtaking is nearly impossible, adding even more pressure. The race becomes even more treacherous in the rain, with drivers forced to maintain control on slick streets. It's no wonder the safety car is almost a guarantee here. Monaco's tricky layout and unpredictable conditions make every lap an intense challenge, but it's also what makes qualifying so exciting. It's the part of the weekend where the bravest drivers with the most skill really shine. Max Verstappen, for example, had a dramatic crash during the 2015 season while driving for Toro Rosso, losing control as he approached the first turn. That moment highlights how unforgiving Monaco can be, even for the best drivers in the world. Spa-Francorchamps, Belgium. Eau Rouge and Radillon are two of the most feared corners in Formula One. These sections of the Spa-Francorchamps circuit are notorious for their high-speed demands and unpredictable weather, making it a true test for even the most seasoned drivers. The track's lack of runoff areas adds to the danger, as any mistake here can lead to devastating crashes. Sadly, the dangers of Spa were highlighted in 2019 when F2 driver Antoine Hubert tragically lost his life following a crash at Eau Rouge. More recently, in 2021, McLaren's Lando Norris had a terrifying crash in the same section, struggling to control his car in heavy rain. Fortunately, he walked away, but it was a stark reminder of just how brutal this track can be. At 7 kilometers, Spa is the longest circuit in Formula One, and it's a mix of speed, tight corners, and unpredictable weather make it one of the most challenging. Changes have been made to the track since these incidents, with a focus on improving safety, but the risks will always be there. While these updates aim to prevent future tragedies, Spa will always be a great track that tests the very limits of skill and courage. Jeddah Circuit, Saudi Arabia. Jeddah is one of the newest additions to the Formula One calendar, and it's quickly gained a reputation as a dangerous street circuit. Known for its blistering speed, it's one of the fastest tracks on the F1 season calendar, but it's also been criticized for its lack of safety features. At 6.175 kilometers or 3.83 miles, it's the second longest track of the year, making it a demanding challenge for drivers. The 2022 season highlighted just how risky Jeddah can be when Mick Schumacher suffered a massive crash, which remains the most notable incident on the circuit so far. After that crash, many drivers voiced concerns about whether Jeddah is truly suited to host F1 races. Even though changes were made to improve safety for the next edition, the track still faces strong criticism. Drivers have pointed out the dangers of the killer curbs, the sweeping corners, and the closed barriers, which leave little room for error. While these modifications have helped, the track's high-speed nature and tight layout continue to push drivers to their limits, making Jeddah one of the most thrilling but risky circuits on the calendar. Nürburgring Nordschleife, Germany. This circuit is often called the Green Hell, and for good reason. Its challenging layout and countless blind corners make it one of the toughest tracks in the world. Stretching over 20 kilometers with more than 170 corners, it's also one of the longest. Formula One last raced here in 1976, and it's remembered for the terrifying crash that nearly took the life of Niki Lauda. The Austrian driver miraculously survived, but he was left with severe burns after barely escaping death. The track itself takes around 7 minutes to complete, filled with fast, twisting corners and almost no room for recovery. Safety is a major concern, and it's no wonder that F1 no longer races here. It's simply too dangerous for modern cars. However, the track still sees action, mostly by the automobile industry, which uses it to test vehicles in extreme conditions. Over the years, Formula One has raced on many circuits, and while this one is among the most dangerous in history, safety has always been a top priority. Tracks are continuously updated with features like runoff areas, barriers, and crash zones, all designed to reduce the risk of serious accidents and keep drivers as safe as possible during races. Which track do you think is the most dangerous? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, then make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay on the lookout for more.